Stratified squamous epithelia are quite common in the body, but stratified cuboidal and stratified columnar are not. These rare forms are found only in the most protected wet environments, such as just under the eyelid, in the ducts of certain glands, and in the male urethra that you saw a moment ago. They tend to be unstable and are easily converted either to a stratified squamous epithelium or to a simple columnar epithelium. The eyelid has two surfaces. The outside is covered with skin, with an epidermis of keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. The side against the eyeball, called the conjunctiva, has a variable wet epithelium. This image is of the palpebral conjunctiva, the inner surface of the eyelid, and the cornea is here, and the corneal epithelium here. I'll talk about this very special epithelium and the cornea in my lecture on the eye. Look at the conjunctiva. Its epithelium is stratified, but with only 2 to 5 layers of cells and no keratin layer. If I was to scan along the epithelium on the conjunctiva side, I'd find stratified cuboidal epithelium, as you can see here, but also stratified squamous along here, and maybe stratified columnar epithelium if you could go further along and view along the palpebral and the ocular conjunctiva. Normally, you would see numerous, in fact very numerous, lymphocytes just under the epithelium along most of the conjunctiva. These are protective cells of the immune system. The wet epithelium of the conjunctiva is not very resistant to pathogens, and so protective cells accumulate below it. Just as a final example of stratified cuboidal epithelium, look at this image from a section through a duct in a salivary gland. Note the stratified cuboidal epithelium. And don't confuse a section through a duct with this section through a small artery. And a very small vein is sectioned up here with a very thin wall. This may confuse you a little at this early stage of your study of histology. This is not a stratified epithelium forming the wall of this small artery or this small vein. The epithelium of these two blood vessels is a simple squamous epithelium with very flattened or elongated nuclei when they are sectioned along the length of the epithelial cell, or maybe not so flattened when the epithelial cell is sectioned transversely, such as here in the artery. The underlying cells are smooth muscle cells, not epithelial cells. But wait until you learn more about the layers of the wall of blood vessels in my histology lectures on the cardiovascular system. And look again at this image of the urethra passing through the penis. I'm sure if you look carefully, you could convince yourself there are areas that are stratified columnar epithelium. Maybe here.